Hello, my fellow Nigerians. One of our own is saying why it is difficult to extradite Simon Ekpa to Nigeria. Viz. Oyekwelu analysis, the issues. The recent arrest of Simon Ekpa, a pro-Biafra agitator in Finland, has sparked debates about the possibility of his extradition to Nigeria. According to Vince Oyekwelu, a former British police officer and a national security risk strategist, the process is legally feasible but highly complicated. In an interview with Arise News from 7/09, Oyekwelu stated that while extradition is almost impossible, though not 100% impossible, several legal and procedural hurdles must be addressed before such an outcome can be realized. One of the primary challenges lies in the absence of an extradition treaty between Finland and Nigeria. This means that Finnish authorities have jurisdiction over Ekpa's case and the right to prosecute him for any charges brought against him. Oyekwelu emphasized that this step is essential to ensure due diligence within Finland's legal framework. Furthermore, the criminal justice of the European Union would need to evaluate the case before approving any potential extradition, adding another layer of complexity. The European legal system would assess two critical factors: the charges against Ekpa and his fundamental rights as an individual. Oyekwelu explained that Ekpa must answer accusations such as inciting violence and advocating for self-determination for Biafra within a court of law. Beyond the specifics of the charges, the CJEU would also examine whether extraditing him to Nigeria aligns with European principles of human rights and justice. Human rights concerns could significantly influence the decision. Nigeria's human rights record, particularly regarding its treatment of political detainees and activists, is expected to be scrutinized. Oyekwelu highlighted this point, saying the Chief of Defense Staff should go home, relax, and sleep because that's the Finnish authorities and the CJEU have to consider the human rights records in Nigeria as a country. What he said: professionally speaking, the chances are possible to extradite Simon Ekpa to Nigeria. However, in my opinion, it is almost impossible, though not 100% impossible, because one, there is no extradition treaty between Finland and Nigeria. Number two, the Finnish authority have every right to take him to court to answer to the charges against him, and that is perfect. That is due diligence, and afterwards, the CJEU, the criminal justice of the European Union, also have a right under the European human rights to also test if he is suitable to be extradited to Nigeria based on one, the charges against him, and number two, the fundamentals, because he has to defend himself in a court of law. You cannot just bring charges without him answering in response to the reasons why he's inviting violence, to the fundamental why he thinks there is reason for him to request for self-determination for the people of Biafra. The Criminal Court of Justice of the European Union have to check if they believe in self-determination, if they believe in human rights abuses, because bringing that man to Nigeria is a great idea, but the Chief of Defense Staff should go home, relax and sleep because they have to consider the human rights records in Nigeria as a country. My people, this is what we are saying. Before we do anything further, before we do anything, we have to look the law, the angle of the law angle of it. So in the comments section, see what our people, one of our own is saying. Cases of multiple murder, acts of terrorism, treasonable offense, and many more with uncountable evidences have already established where too much hatred for the Igbos from the two tribes that fought us during the Civil War. These two tribes should leave Igbos alone. The case is dead on arrival as long as Nigeria is concerned, based on human rights abuses, a country where laws exist only for the poor. Akpa will never be brought to Nigeria because Nigerian government is lawlessness government. Nigerian government doesn't obey court order. Look at what they are doing for Nnamdi Kanu case. DSS disobeyed court order. Federal government disobeyed court order. Federal government are not right judge. Kanu or Ekpa, right of Kanu Ekpa is not Nigeria election. That criminal can rig he in becoming a president or governor. Let the Finland government release Ekpa. Because Nigerian government, their lawlessness is much. Did you pay school fees? In all this, let's just hear what other people are saying. Law, what about the documents of Nigerian citizens and he domiciled in a preferred country of choice? Your submission is true. The position of the law, both local and internationally, when it comes to Nigeria, the government and those in authority approach it from hate and human angle, always behaving like King Kong. Nigerian government, who never obeyed law, obeyed the court order, is making noise about Ekpa. Do we think that the foreign countries don't know what is going on in Nigeria? Black man thinking and white man thinking aren't the same. Europe and Africa aren't the same. Finland and Kenya aren't the same. Europe courts and African courts aren't the same. Ekpa is not dumb. He must clear himself. His explanation is wait and take. Let's wait for court sitting. You guys don't need to rush matter. Nigeria never defeated Nnamdi Kanu. They have been playing politics on his release just because their judges don't know how to handle his matter. Nonsense country. To me, your analysis is correct. Finland is a civilized country. They are not Nigeria. Ekpa must answer question. His explanation may even expose Nigerian government on the killing going on by Fulani people, echoed by politicians. They must hear from Ekpa in the court. When the British, Russians, and Egypt commit genocide against the Igbos, what happened? Nothing, because the whole world is against them. Israel is today because Americans are with them. Igbos is like child without parents. That is an orphan. They should not bring Simon Ekpa to Nigeria because his life and security is not guaranteed. Therefore, he should be tried in Finland, where he was arrested. My people, this is what we are saying. In the comment section, you are free to say your opinion. Love, share, like, subscribe to this channel. God bless Nigeria. Thanks and God bless. Amen.